Hello, everybody. It's Tom Stoukas coming to you from Sarnia, Ontario. August 31st. Last Sunday of summer. Tomorrow's Labor Day. Beautiful day today. Finally, some nice weather. Of course, at the end of the summer. It's getting back to school. Watch out for the kids. All that jazz. It's going to be hard to keep the filter on this year at the school, though. I was driving by one of the public schools today, and they still have the transgender whatever flag flying all summer. I don't know, nice, fresh, ready to go. So I guess it's an all year long thing. So who knows what's going to happen at the schools this year. So my X feed today, saw was the big story was in Australia, which they're a bit ahead of us in the time zones. Had the big national rallies across the nation against mass immigration. The same issues that face Canada. Lots of people from India, Africa, other third world countries come into Australia, driving up the house prices. The rents, the unemployment, crime, social cohesion in general. So basically exactly like Canada. And a lot of protests. And in UK too, a lot of protests this weekend with the same issue. But I think UK's way ahead, because I think they're so close to the different continents that they're like a magnet for migration. So they're having a lot of protests. And Canada's has the same situation, but so far we haven't seen any mass protests against mass. I mean, who are you going to protest to? Like, Carney's for it. Pierre's useless. It's weird. We'll see how if anything comes of these protests, for good or for bad, or if they just fizzle out. So we'll see. And then in Ontario, closer to home, they're still looking out for those Indian gunmen out in Muskoka there, who were playing Rambo out in the woods and left a big mess. For some reason, the OPP in Bracebridge can't find them, even though they got their license plate, their faces, they're on YouTube. I think they got their Instagram. So I don't know. I thought either they fled to India, which I don't think so, or they're Doug Ford donors, and Doug's got their back. So yeah, we'll see. And apparently the neighbors say this shooting stuff's been going on for years. So, and they've been complaining about it. So I don't know how true that is, but if it is, it's ridiculous. And then a poll came out. I guess, I don't know if it shows Mark Carney has a really high approval rate. I don't know, almost 60%, I think. And I was like, wow, we're screwed. And I don't know how much of it is. I think a lot of people like him. I don't like him, but a lot of people are comfortable with him, and a lot of people dislike Pierre Poilievre. So he's got this huge approval rating. So yeah, we're screwed. The guy's a mega globalist, and he's got 3 years to screw us up. So yeah, that's the day today. I'm kind of depressed a little. Not a big deal. This fall is on the way. A time of no, actually it's death. Renewal is the spring. All right. So let's go to the first thing. This is Australia. This is interesting because Australia is kind of like Canada. Same idea. 500,000 Australians. Okay, let's watch the video here. So imagine something like this happening in Canada. we haven't seen something like this. We've seen it like for the COVID, but not something against the immigration. I haven't seen it on a big scale like you've seen the Second Sons do their marches and stuff. Sure. And but not huge rallies like this, like and in like the UK and other European countries. It hasn't happened in Canada. It's weird. Probably because we're screwed. They got us ahead of time. Like they caught us sleeping. Now we're screwed. I don't know. Like I went to Toronto the other day, and it was like I was born in Toronto, and it was like I was in a foreign country, and it was weird. It was a weird feeling. But is it too late for stuff like this to be protested in Canada? Even if they do get all these numbers out like they did in Australia, will it do anything? Will they change? I don't think so. They're just going to keep pumping in those numbers until it's too late. So what's it say? 500,000 Australians. Hold on. 500,000 Australians hit the streets in 6 major cities demanding an end to mass immigration. Canadian mainstream media response: label them all far-right neo-Nazis. Yeah, there were a few, but most of them weren't. So 500,000 people are Nazis now. This is sick, dishonest propaganda. Yes. And this was like a grassroots protest, like, because it wasn't like promoted on the news networks. They actually kind of like totally didn't even bother covering it. Okay, and then this one: over 35 protests confirmed across Britain this weekend, with more locations joining hourly. Britain is no longer sleeping. Yeah, like I don't know if it's just the internet or Twitter, or if how much of a powder keg UK is. It sounds like it is. It sounds like it's gonna go nuts. And they do have a history of revolution and mayhem. So who knows? They're supposed to have a big protest next week, I think. Next weekend, 2 weeks. Who knows? But it's a big problem. Like I said, Toronto's turned into a shithole. You can't even takes 2 hours just to get anywhere with the traffic, and it's full of shitty drivers. Like, so you get a couple accidents and it mucks up the whole system. And just horrible. I don't like it at all. And you got all those e-bike riders delivering food, like hordes of them. It's just depressing. But anyway, we'll see if it comes to these rallies. I don't see these rallies forming here anytime soon, because we have problem with a lot of Canadians, like white Canadians, like to be specific, actually support the mass immigration, which is weird. They're the elbows up crowd. What do you expect? So it's gonna be a tough ship to turn around. On a brighter note, yes, I went on a nature walk today because I was by myself. I found this lake in Sarnia. I've never been to. I grew up here, and I've never been to this lake that's behind houses in the part of the city. It's crazy, eh? Very peaceful. Beautiful, and not a lick of garbage, which I was very impressed. And the trail there. Okay, so here's this. Canada must do the same for Australia. There's supposed to there's some guys trying to organize a anti-immigration rally in Canada on September 13th. But I don't know. I don't see it happening like Australia, like multiple cities, and obviously I don't see that happening. Canada's screwed, I think, because we got like a large immigrant population that votes and is very organized. They vote and they would like to continue the policy. Then you got a lot of elbows up crowd that has no problem with the policy because they want a virtue signal. So it's going to be very hard to reverse it politically, I mean. So there's some more footage of the Australia. The lads down under. It was pretty peaceful, no violent. I know Europeans would have been rioting with that many people. Europeans love to riot. They love it. We're a little more reserved here. Next, same topic here. It's okay to be against mass immigration. There's nothing racist or hateful about it. People need to understand this. Any normal citizen of a country in which they were born and raised and they love would protect it. The difference is our media and government have been programming you to think it's bad. Yes. Well, they canceled Don Cherry for that thinking. So it's definitely becoming a topic now after like 10 years of not being able to talk about it. Literally, you weren't able to talk about our immigration policies. And now they're talking about it. It's funny. But yeah. Okay. And speaking of our immigration issue, is we got this Khalistan problem. I can't stand this Khalistan shit. I don't even know why we're letting them in the country. It's fucked up. It is. The one thing that makes me feel a little better is the States has a lot of Khalistanis in there. So we're not the only dummies letting them in. The States is co-dummying with us. So apparently they're having the freedom rally in Mississauga to remember a Khalistani suicide bomber. Let's see. Look at that, eh? And this is in Mississauga. Mississauga's lost. Like if I thought Toronto was a third world country, third world city, felt like it. But can you imagine Mississauga or Brampton? Holy shit! So this is what is normal in Mississauga. These Khalistan people. I don't know how the hell they get into this country. They seem to cause. They seem to cause all sorts of problems wherever they go. They're shooting off guns and extorting people and planting bombs on airplanes. So, but they seem to get into the U.S., Canada. So this is what's going on. This was today, was it? Yeah, August 31st. I missed it. I wasn't able to go. I'll get the next one. Next, we got the missing gunman. The missing gunman in Muskoka or cottage country. Ryan, again, sensible question. How have they not found them yet? I'm almost certain the video showed a license plate. They have all of their faces. Let's find these people. All right, let's listen to this. OPP, this guy.
If you want to stay anonymous, contact Crime Stoppers.
Okay.
Many of you have seen the videos circulating on social media showing individuals discharging firearms in a careless and unsafe manner. We have as well, and we've been investigating for some time. These actions pose serious risks to the safety of everyone nearby. and continue to actively monitor the area. And now we need your help. If you're able to identify any of these individuals or have information, please contact the Bracebridge OPP at 1-888-310-1122.
You literally have
Or if
their
you want to stay anonymous,
faces.
contact Crime Stoppers at 1-800-222-TIPS. That's 1-800-222-8477. Public safety remains our top priority. Let's work together to keep our communities safe.
Whatever. The guy looked pretty scared. I don't know. It's like they put a gun to his head, but how the hell did they not catch these guys? Like these days with the computers and all, they catch you in like that. They can track you down in no time. I was joking. I said they're probably donors for Doug Ford because, they vote. A lot of these guys vote very organized, and they got their political support lined up. So I wouldn't be surprised if they're Doug Ford donors. That's why they haven't been caught yet. But who knows? That's a weird one there, police. You should be doing your job. It bugs me because if it was Canadian, the Canada First crowd, and they did that, and that video got out, there'd be CSIS and RCMP all over the place. It's just like Coutts, even worse than Coutts. But this is like, oh, geez, we have all their information, we just can't find them. It's weird. But this guy's not really inspiring much confidence. This OPP guy. He needs to do some push-ups. And this is what I was saying about the locals. Locals in Ontario's Muskoka region say they have been complaining about alleged illegal shooting in the area for years with no response from authorities until footage went viral late last week. So they say it's been going on and nobody's done anything. They think our laws don't apply to them. Mm-hmm. Who knows? Like, I have no reason to think they're lying, the locals. So assuming they're telling the truth, that's pretty horrible. That you can't, crack down on this kind of behavior. Because, like I said, if it was the white Canadian, like the nationalists, whatever, the ones that go to the gym and train together, that the CBC was so worried about, and the anti-hate networks are so worried about, if it was them, it would be like headline news. Like CBC would be doing, oh God. I don't even want to imagine what they would be doing with that. It bugs me. So Canada, we got to catch up to Australia and UK in our a little bit more outrage. But it's going to be hard. I don't see too many people. We're such a big, I think the problem is we're such a big spread out country, whereas UK is a little more compressed. So it's hard to rally people. And the way it is now is the major cities are done, as far as I'm concerned. I mean, look at the mayors. You got that dummy in Calgary. I can't remember his name. I know it, but anyway, she's useless. You got Olivia Chow in Toronto. Oh my God, giving out crack pipes to people. It's zombie town. Smells like piss. And then you got the guy in Edmonton, the Indian dude. And then you got the guy in the commies in BC. Oh my God! So all the cities are taken. The rural still, the smaller cities and the rural, not yet, but on its way. So yeah, it's horrible. It's gonna be hard to fix. On a lighter note, that's my hamster. He's going all nuts. She's going all nuts today. Instead of something cute at least, instead of complaining all the time. Stretching, I think. All right. Now, next, this is crazy. Like, people have, in a proper society, you should be able to ride on the bus without getting attacked by a crazy person. And this didn't occur here. Okay, so this is in Vancouver. High-risk violent offender Shaquan David Kelly, that keeps being released into the streets of Vancouver, has been arrested again for hitting a transit police officer. Shaquan has randomly attacked women and aid workers, and just this past July was sentenced to prison for 2 assault charges and breaching his previous release orders. Holy shit. Here are some of his contributions to society. Look at this guy.
Bus and punching another stranger in.
Sorry, I didn't know there was sound to it.
In March 2023, Kelly was sentenced to 3 years probation after pleading guilty to 4 assaults over 4 weeks in 2022, including punching a woman in the face and knocking her to the floor on a bus, and punching another stranger in the head on the SkyTrain. Kelly pleaded guilty to obstructing a peace officer in a 5th incident where he ran from police and pushed a mother and toddler in Chinatown.
God.
I'm not going to be able to pay the mortgage this month.
Yeah, that's horrible. Guys like that, I don't know what. If we can deport him, maybe. If he's Canadian, you never know, he could have a Canadian passport. So I was saying, he says, yeah, this guy's a son of a bitch. Oh my God. He's obviously got problems. Because normal people don't do that kind of stuff. I say if we can't deport them, we can make like an Arctic prison surrounded by polar bears. Make them the polar bears are just hungry enough so nobody else can get by them. And then you send guys like that there. And then he can spaz out all he wants up there with the polar bears. And see what the polar bears, what they think of it. But I know it sounds like kind of like a little bit like Stalin sending people to the camps. But there's nothing wrong with sending guys like this out there, because that's kind of where they belong, out in the wilderness. It's called, I think, make exile great again. That's what they did. They said you can't walk among us, so you're exiled. That's my opinion. As soon as he does that to a kid and a woman, gone. All right, here's another thing on the self-defense discussion that's been going on with, the topic of home invasions and robberies and lack of police response and slow court justice, and it's crazy. Even, okay, let's say you should be able to defend your home without having to worry about getting charged, for sure. But at the very least, you can't even defend yourself, like legally defend yourself. Like if you aren't carrying anything that's a defensive, any weapon that's like a defensive weapon, if you get attacked, you're deemed as carrying a weapon, it's kind of ridiculous. So Pierre Polyev was smart. He's talking about this, saying, people should be able to defend their home. He didn't really say anything new. He should have said, I'd make a law allowing women to carry pepper spray or some kind of self-defense item like that, like non-lethal, of course. Because, women are facing a lot more sexual assaults on buses. Lots of those, you see. But Corn, if he says you can't, I saw this post. Do you think you can carry hairspray instead of pepper spray to defend yourself? You are in violation of the criminal code. Weapons dangerous. because law and case law are explicit that Canadians except Sikhs, are not allowed to carry any defensive weapons. Even ordinary objects are prohibited if your intent is to use them as a defensive weapon. Like if I have a bat in my car, just tucked away, nice away, and ready to grab if I have a problem, that's, if the cop gets me admitting that, apparently, then they can get me. It's whatever, it's ridiculous. Even ordinary objects prohibited if your intent is. So a bat would be, obviously. You could be arrested and charged because you are violating the criminal code laws against arming yourself. All good Canadians deserve the right to carry defensive weapons. Canadian women are not allowed to carry pepper spray or anything else for self-protection. Yeah, it's ridiculous. I think in the States they're allowed. Well, pepper spray ain't going to hurt anybody. But I said, it's just like a commie Canada, where the state and only the state will protect you. Don't even try protecting yourself. But if they don't protect you, then don't complain either. When they don't show up when you're getting raped. So yeah, Pierre could have done that. He should have said, I'll give, and it might have helped him with his women vote. If he says, I'll let the women carry pepper spray. Men can get by without the pepper spray. But women, if he said that, I bet his numbers with the women would go up. And here we are, Mark Carney. I guess he's been popular with all the crowd. Not me, but he keeps saying this. Canada's been a nation of builders. It's time to draw on this legacy and build new ports, highways, energy grids, and, oh my God, energy projects faster. And look at this guy. This guy hasn't built nothing in his life. All he did is build money, print money. Anyway, I was in Toronto, stuck in traffic for like an hour. The place is a mess, like for traffic. And there's cities 5 times its size. Yeah, they make excuses to, oh, it's a long weekend or accidents, but there's cities 5 times the size of Toronto that have nowhere near the problem of traffic. So it's just horrible. So a couple of fender benders on the 401 can muck up the whole highway. So how are they going to build all this stuff that you're saying when you can't even relieve traffic in the busiest stretch of highway in Canada? And Premier Doug Ford's to blame too. He's been Premier for 8 years and the traffic's the worst in the world. So yeah, I'm not too confident that they're going to be building all this, but you know, people buy it. They're buying it. All they see is anti-Trump, Trump bad. And there's that poll. Mark Carney's approval rating climbs to 68% as of August 25th, 2025. August, that's just last week. I don't know, Spark Insights. I don't know how accurate this is. And people are like, what's going on here? Okay. So I think the approval rating, 68%. Whoa. It's Canada's screwed. Politically, we're screwed. Like literally politically screwed, because you got the Liberals, who are this globalist party led by this globalist, ultra globalist. Then you got the Conservative Party, which is just globalist but not as ultra globalist. And no visible leaders coming in the horizon to shake things up. So politically, we're screwed. And he's got 68%. Assume that's correct. And I think he's getting it from the elbows up crowd, like the ones in Toronto, all the elbows up liberals that love their gentrified neighborhoods and they're cool with becoming a minority in Toronto soon. Like they already are, actually. So you got that crowd voting for him. And then you got all the immigrants from the third world countries, very skew heavily towards the liberals. And then even you got the centrist, like the Doug Ford conservatives, who hate Pierre, right? So there's like, well, yeah, we like Carney better than Pierre. So that would explain his popularity. But it's not, I don't think the average Canadian would say, yeah, we love Carney. So, yeah, politically we're screwed. It's the uniparty, and even at the provincial level, uniparty, we're screwed politically. And I was like, Don Cherry was right after my visit to Toronto. It's like, they don't give a shit about Canada. They just want the milk and honey. Like, it was weird. It was like, it was a city in Toronto, like a global city. So nobody was there for Canada. It was just there for whatever, sell something or whatever. It's over though for John. They screwed Don. They screwed Don. They did Don dirty. This is funny. I think this is an older video. This guy's a tourist in India.
Now, what a better way to start your evening than going inside the River Ganges?
Oh, God.
Wish me luck. This is the most refreshing water I've ever been in. Yes, I'm from India! India! Oh! I can taste it in my mouth.
I don't know how true this is. Well, maybe. Yeah. So I said, coming to Canada, a Canadian river near you. I think that'll take a while, but yeah, they have like dead bodies in this river. They float dead bodies down the river, and they also do other things in the river. Yikes! This one, saw this. This is from the COVID era. I saw it. It reminded me. It's the Trailer Park Boys. Very disappointed. They did the COVID vax endorsement. And I was like, who knows how much they got for it. Let's see what he says.
We're getting ours.
And I haven't watched Trailer Park Boys since that.
Boys, guess what? I just booked our vaccinations. We're getting vaccinated tomorrow, all three of us.
What?
We're getting our vaccines tomorrow for the COVID.
Are you serious? I don't want to get...
Julian, you're getting it, okay? It's a needle, and you've got gigantic muscles. You're not afraid of needles. Everybody's got to get their vaccine in order for us to get, back to normal here.
I'll get mine, man. I heard it gives you, like, invincibility powers.
It doesn't give you invincibility powers.
Give you powers? It f***ing makes you invincible. I'm taking the f***ing first one available.
Yeah.
Yes, take the first one available. We're getting ours tomorrow. Everybody else, get out and get your vaccines.
Let's end this shit.
Yeah, it's whack. The whole thing about Trailer Park Boys was they're like basically the exact opposition to authority in like every episode, from the trailer park supervisor to the cops, and here they are hawking the vaccine. So yeah, I don't know if it was worth their career, but all right. And then this is in Australia at the whatever, their anti-immigrant march, and this little guy from Rebel News, which is affiliated with Rebel News in Canada, Ezra Levant, and he's Jewish, so he had to go after the Nazi, not the Nazi, but the national, like the far right leader. And he has two big burly security guards. This little Avi Yemeni, his name is, from Rebel News. And he goes into the crowd, goes right to the guy who, they told him, we don't want you. And then he starts shit with him, and then he runs. Then he runs behind his security guards. It's funny.
Yeah, Thank you, thank you.
Oh. Let's walk around. There's your artist. Look at him. Here he is. Don't touch. Fucking touch. It's time to go. Don't touch. It's time to go.
There he goes, hiding behind the guys now. I mean, he got it on a stream, so that's good for him. And then they got the security guards getting some flag pulls to the head. Oh, Australia. Yeah, Canada hasn't gotten there yet. I think this was like the most serious incident. I don't think there was anything else. It was pretty tame. But the politicians are very rattled. They're condemning. They're making sure they're calling it all like a Nazi thing.
Most of the people here said they don't support. They forced their way in. They forced
All
their
right.
way in.
So yeah, so he instigates a fight with Thomas Sewell, and then in Melbourne, and then he runs away. He claims that no one at the rally supported Thomas, but he was one of the speakers. Okay, so he's like a Tommy Robinson type, and there's a lot of those in Canada on X, which they bug me because all they do is whip it up against Muslims, which is fine, I guess. Like we don't want to become a Muslim country, of course, but they totally ignore everybody else. So the Indians, the Sikhs, the Khalistanis, the Africans, whoever the hell they're shipping in. Oh, as long as they have our values, they can come in. Whatever, I don't know. So they ignore guys like Avi, guys like Ezra, a lot of people in Canada, like on like fake. I call them the fake influencers. They only focus on Muslims. And actually, if you go to Toronto, when I went to Toronto, I barely saw any Muslims. I probably should have went to Mississauga for that, but I saw more Indians than anything. They were everywhere. I tried to go to Greek Town I was gonna say, okay, I'll get something to eat before I leave. And it was a nice, beautiful day. And I went to a couple of Greek restaurants, and they all had Indian cooks. I was like, by the time I had the food or whatever, it's like, whatever, anyway. I'm just saying it's not Greek town. It's Indian town with Greek menu. And then, too bad that they couldn't at least bring temporary workers from Greece, so at least you could say the cooks were Greek. But to be fair, in Greece, even their restaurants are all Indians probably. So I can't really criticize. But it's crazy. It's to focus only on Muslims when most of them are. I think there's way more Indians coming than the Muslims. But it sounds like too selective. So yeah, we'll see where this goes. If it fizzles out, if it increases, and if it translates politically into like in Australia and the UK and Canada. I don't see it happening at that level here yet. Against the mass immigration, like at least an organized response to it. I don't see it right now. Slowly, I guess. Anyway, that's it for today. School's starting. Hopefully everybody's safe, and hopefully none of the too much more of this whatever that they're pushing this year. Who knows what they'll be pushing this year, the school year. Oh my God. So when am I back? Wednesday. I don't even know what day it is. Oh, tomorrow's the 1st. September 1st. 2nd. So September 3rd, I'll be back and see what happens. See if anything happens now that summer's over. So until then, have a nice Labor Day. We'll see you then.